Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
Yeah, away we go. A great day to be alive on a Thursday. Live from the Orpheum Theater in Madison, it is Kyle Brust and Nortman with you. 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app available in your app store. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, both on assignment today. So it's just the duo of knuckleheads. I'm Alex Strofe in for the fellas alongside the 6-year NFL veteran, the University of Wisconsin legend back in Madison, Brad Nortman alongside me as we are live at the Orpheum Theater for Made 'Em Believe tonight, featuring Josh Gosser, Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, Bo Ryan, Ben Brust, and more here at the Orpheum Theater. Tickets still available. Few left. UWHoops2015.com to get those. Bradley, well, what a setup.
Yeah, it's a setup, all right, and you set it up beautifully as always, but there's something that I need to set up for you.
What are you talking about?
And that's a vision of you on the pitcher's mound at the Lakeshore, what is it, the Chinooks? The Chinooks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wasn't there to view it with my own two eyes, but I saw enough video and enough angles to just be left confused and just a bit nauseated is too strong of a word, but I feel a little bit embarrassed for you, Strove. I want you to take me through you at the mound. Now, you look the part. You look like you've got. You even do. Did you spit?
I didn't actually spit. It was
a
fake spit.
A fake spit at the mound. I got to know. You threw the ball. It didn't hit your mark. Now, did it? It went way over the catcher being Ben Brust.
Yep.
And I just got to know what was going through your head.
Okay. Well,
set the scene because I need an explanation. KBN Nation needs an explanation for the performance.
I really thought, Brad, we were going to get through all 3 hours with just ignoring what happened last night at Capco Park.
Can't do it, won't do it.
So, if you missed yesterday's show like Brad did, the three of us, Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, myself, Alex Strofe, were out at Capco Park. We did the show live from there. We knew going in that I would be throwing a first pitch. We did not know, though, until we found out about midway through the show yesterday, that Kyle Wallace would also be throwing out a first pitch. And Ben Brust had the opportunity to catch for both of us. So we made a little lunch bet, Kyle Wallace and I. And Kyle went out to the mound first. I went second. Kyle bounced it in, but it was down the pipe. It was on target.
Did it hit before the plate or after the plate?
Before the plate.
Okay.
But Benny
scooped it up
by him, showed off his athleticism.
Benny Scoops?
Benny Scoops, indeed.
Benny Scoops.
Well, this is a different context of Benny Scoops. I mean, Dublin, Ireland, between the Steelers and Packers didn't really pay off for that version of Benny Scoops. But Benny Scoops last night on target with Kyle's first pitch. So I'm thinking to myself as I'm about to run out there, okay, I've got this. I just got to get it there. And I'll have a free lunch. Nobody will talk about it today. But I've realized, listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning on ESPN Milwaukee and Wilde and Tausch this morning across ESPN Wisconsin, not one peep about Kyle Wallace's first pitch.
No.
Not one peep about that thing bouncing in. It was all about my pitch, which, let's just be honest with one another. Horrific. Awful.
Ugly.
Traumatizing for me.
Children, avert your eyes.
Yeah. Hide the women, hide the children. Strope is on the mound. And hide the dogs, by the way. Because it was bark in the park night at Capco Park.
Oh,
there's like this beautiful golden retriever at home plate standing behind Benny. And what are we doing here? Real quick. Shot it to the Chinooks. Great hospitality. Super fun night at Capco Park despite the 8-0 loss to the Green Bay Rockers. But we had a blast. They knew going in. The reason they invited me out was the Combine video. They're like, hey, come get your redemption, bro. And for whatever reason, Game Ops decided it was a good idea to put a what I would assume like a 3, 4, 5-year-old golden retriever right behind Benny at home plate, which is a bad idea. Unprotected.
Oh, pray for that dog.
And okay, so I get up to the mound, and me and Ben had discussed earlier. We're going to do this thing. He's going to give me signs. I'm going to shake him off. We're going to do a little bit, and then I'm going to toss one in there. I said yesterday on the show, A, no warm-up pitches for me. B, I'm throwing it as hard as I can. I'm not letting up.
Wait. Stop right there.
Yep.
No warm-up pitches. I respect that. When's the last time you threw a baseball? Even casually, like, hey, let's go out and play some catch.
It's been a few years. At minimum. It's been a few years at minimum. I've probably hucked one around in, like, the AmFam Field parking lot.
Okay.
But not there, or not recently.
Okay, and then you said you were going to throw it as hard as you can.
And I did.
That couldn't be as hard as you can. I can appreciate.
The issue is I let go way too early.
Well, yeah, because it sailed over Ben's head. The mascot was standing right behind Ben, and you can see in the picture his head looked up to the sky as he saw a bird as if it was flying over his head. I think they were in a state of disbelief with the ball going there. Did you try to aim it? Like, did you try to, like, okay, you saw Ben's glove and you tried to aim it, or you just like? It's forgivable to run the 3-cone the way you did, because it's kind of a strange.
Is it forgivable? Because that's been used against me every day for the last 4 months.
But like it's strange, right? You're turning, you're going back and forth. Throwing a ball is something that a 2-year-old can do to some degree. Like
yep.
it's a inherent human instinctual action to take something in your hand, round, mind you, and throw it with any level of accuracy and strength.
Yeah.
And so you tried to rocket it, and it went over Ben's head. Way over Ben's head.
Way over Ben's head, yeah. I threw that puppy about 20 feet in the air. And at Capco Park, the backstop is further back than traditional ballparks. It hit the backstop.
No.
It went about as far back as you could imagine. I completely missed the mark. It was over what would have been a left-handed batter. It would have been 10 feet over their head and then some. So it was about as an atrocious of a first pitch as you could have imagined. Alex Stroh, Brad Nortman with you. It's Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin, live from the Orpheum Theater ahead of Made 'em Believe. Tickets still available at uwhoops2015.com. The show gets going tonight at 7 o'clock here at the Orpheum Theater. But we are discussing my first pitch at the Lakeshore Chinooks game last night, which was horrendous. If you haven't seen it yet, get to YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube. I'm sure Will will be sprinkling it in throughout. And what he just popped up on the screen.
Look at that. That picture is a must-see picture.
It's some good height on that.
It's so unbelievably bad.
It's a ground-level picture, and the ball is like equal to about row 9 in the stadium. The mascot is looking up. Ben is grasping. Look how close that dog is.
Yeah.
That dog is legitimately right behind the batter's box. I mean, did you warn them? Did you warn the baseball team or the operators? You might want to clear the way.
Two things on that. Number one, I thought I was going to throw a strike. I legitimately believed it.
Why did you think that? Was it just you are a man of such self-belief?
Yeah, I have this irrational confidence in all things I do that I am going to be perfect at it. Thus was born the NFL Combine I did. Thus was born the idea that I could throw a much better first pitch than Jordan Love, which I did not do last night. Referring back to on Memorial Day when Jordan Love threw the first pitch at AmFam Field for the Brewers game. It was awful. A couple things on the Carbless Talk and text line, which if you've seen the video and you want to roast me, bombs away, baby. 800-990-3776. Chef Ed says, Brad, I told Stroh that he would throw a wild pitch, and boy, was Chef Ed right. K-Walk chimes in. Was it worse than the one where the girl hit the cameraman with the ball? I don't think it was quite that bad, but it was a worse throw. It wasn't as unlucky as that throw.
Yeah.
This wasn't 50 Cent level. I didn't spike it. I just sailed it. It was about as bad as it can get, though.
Yeah, the results were pretty bad. I mean, and you could tell. You can tell from the video you want it to be so accurate. I mean, you did the high leg kick. You did the whole thing. It just felt like upon release, there was just a last-minute lack of, wait, when do I let go of this thing? And you just let it go too early. What I do respect, though, without a hitch, You walk off the mound.
Yeah.
You give a fist pump. You give a hand wave. There's no level of shame in your walk or in your look. So
No.
at least you walked up with your head held high.
So similarly to the combine, I wasn't surprised. Right? I wasn't surprised at my lack of athleticism. But in every video, and I know we haven't played the audio, but if you watch the ones that I posted on social media, on Instagram, at Strofe ESPN, on Twitter, at Alex_Strofe, one video is a buddy of mine who works with the Green Bay Rockers. He's part of their broadcast team this summer. He's a couple years younger than me. A really good up-and-coming play-by-play guy by the name of Joey. He recorded one from the stands. So that's the video from the stands. And you can just hear him go, "Oh, my God." And then the other angle I posted was recorded by my girlfriend. And you hear her go, "Oh, no."
Oh, that's your girlfriend.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that's Allie.
There's
who's recording that
disappointment in her tone.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And you know,
Was there the crowd?
I heard
murmurs,
I heard a couple of laughs. Because I think some people, like we had a couple different people before we took the field for the first pitch come up to us and be like, "Oh, we're such big fans of the KBN. We came out to see Stroh fail at this." Right? Like I think there was a level of expectation for a few people in the crowd that knew what they were getting into when they came. You know, if they came to see me do it, I think they had a level of expectation of, "Oh, the first pitch isn't going to let you down. It's going to be bad."
Oh, my
and
God.
Bad it was. Here's the audio. Listen, this is my girlfriend.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
From that same video that your girlfriend took, you can see Kyle there, like, watching you, and then right when it sails, he spins around, he laughs. Kyle's never felt more validated. Because you're right, because look, respectable pitch, it hopped in front of the plate, but he got it most of the way. Now, this was the full length of a normal pitcher's mound,
Yeah,
right?
60 and a half. We went to the top of the mound, 60 and a half feet. So 60 feet, 6 inches is what it is from where Ben was from the top of the mound. We agreed we had to do the top of the mound. We did the top of the mound. It was about as bad as it gets. Now the question is out there. What's next for me?
I mean, that's...
Retirement?
Yeah, I mean...
Watch your mouth.
Do you want to keep it going? Are you looking for redemption? What are you looking for, Strofe?
Here's a couple of places my brain has gone in the last, 18 or so hours. Is, number one, do I start practicing and hope to get a first pitch at AmFam Field sometime this year? Little redemption story.
Okay.
Do I just pivot to another sport and see if I can find my lane, right? We've been talking weeks now. Can I get 103 points made in 90 minutes, right? Is basketball my next sport? I've done football, kind of, right?
Yeah.
I've done the three-cone drill, the combine routine. I've now done baseball, the first pitch. Is there a different sport I need to try? Do I go work out with Jen Latta's daughter's team at T-ball? That was offered to me this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, which I don't know if I'm willing to do that because I would probably get embarrassed by – I don't know how old her daughter is, but if she's playing T-ball, I imagine, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that
about
range.
that.
I don't want to get embarrassed by 8-year-olds.
Yeah, so a couple of things that come to mind. I love the idea of an audience, and you had an audience for this one, because that way we can all enjoy the show, if you will. How are you on skates, Strofe? I'm thinking a little Admirals ice hockey.
I fractured my elbow ice skating once. I think I'm afraid of that.
How'd you fracture it?
Okay, so I was on a date with one of my.
You're on a date?
I was on a date with one of my ex-girlfriends.
Oh, my
not even my
gosh.
ex-girlfriend, like a girl I was kind of dating in high school. My mom dropped me off. I was like 15. Stop it, Will. Stop it.
You're 15.
So I was in Green Bay, and I was on a double date with the girl I liked, and then her friend and my friend who were dating, and we all went together. And I just couldn't figure it out, right? I just kept falling. And then I fell so hard on my elbow that I was like, I think I'm injured. But I powered through. I went home. I took a nap. I woke up. My elbow was all swollen.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh, no. What do I do about this? And, we went to, an urgent care, and they're like, you can wear a sling if you want, but it's not going to do anything for you. So I just kind of walked around with a fractured,
Wait, you didn't get casted?
No,
so
nothing like that. It wasn't super broken. I don't know.
Okay,
fracture might be
hairline
strong.
fracture.
Yeah, something like that.
Wait. So you and your who is the foundation of this date? Because I'm sure the guys talked about it.
So hold on. I got to get to the crescendo of this date. So Actually, my mind is foggy. Here's actually what it was. It was me and a girl who's now a lawyer. Congratulations to her.
Wow.
And then it was her best friend, who I later had a crush on, but that's not for here.
You
for
fall him.
The girl that I was dating, her future boyfriend.
Wow.
So here's
That's
what's interesting.
a wild
I
mix of relationships.
I haven't relived this in a while, and I'm realizing there may have been some funny business going on at this date.
Oh, no.
Because we go on this date, I fall, I hurt my elbow. I get home, I take a nap, and I'm like, ow, I'm in pain. I get a text from the girl I'm dating breaking up with me.
No.
Right after the ice skating day.
That's all she needed to see. I need to see no more.
So maybe she was ahead of her time.
And she's the lawyer?
She's a lawyer now, yeah. Maybe
but
she's ahead of her time.
But
and that was like the whoa, I saw this dude try to ice skate.
But who decided on ice skating?
I think it might have been me.
Because, again, like you are setting yourself up in environments where you're not prepared and not set up for success, whether it be throwing a pitch or the 3-cone combine or the NFL draft combine. You got to pick your sport where you can walk in where you know you've got a little bit of confidence behind you.
Can you
You're
ride a bike?
throwing yourselves into environments where you're only asking for tragedy.
800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and text line. We are reliving my first pitch from last night. I have more ice skating details in a moment as well because I've gone twice. I went with a different girlfriend another time, also bad. We'll get to that in a second. But I want to hear from KBN Nation on this because I can't be done. I heard Mark Tauscher on Wilde and Tausch today. He said the piece of advice he has for Strofe, more. Do more. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Look, I know I'm unathletic. I wear that. I'm aware of it. So what should I do next? Because maybe at some point we'll get a victory. We'll get something that makes you go, wow, that was good. Just like speaking of wow, that was good. Look at Benny Brust on stage right now. He looks handsome as hell.
Brust.
Benny, you look handsome. Just want KBN Nation to know that.
Sharp.
You look good, pal. You look really good.
It's a very trimmed button down.
Yeah,
it's got to be
Here's
tailored.
the thing about Benny when he wears button-up shirts. He always has a button or two too many open.
Yeah,
like
it's too much.
He doesn't have chest hair, so he doesn't look masculine. I think he thinks he looks masculine because he's like reliving the glory days today.
Yeah,
he doesn't look masculine. He flipped me the bird.
He's got like the cuff buttons open, both of them open. It's a combination of like, hey, I'm cool, but I'm also dressed up here, spearheading.
Okay, we've got a ton of ideas rolling in on the Carbless Talk and text line, 800-990-3776, of what is next for me. We will get to those. Maybe pick our lane. What should I do next? And we will get to plenty more. We've got a ton planned for you today on KBN, live from the Orpheum Theater. Tickets are running low, but there is still a few available. UW Hoops 2015.com. UWHoops2015.com is your way in to get tickets here at the Orpheum Theater. We will continue to talk my first pitch. Coming up next, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe with you. It's Kyle Brust and Nortman live at the Orpheum Theater.
Oh my God!
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman
Other side.
Body.
Yeah, get over it, man. I'm hot. Next.
on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. On this show, it's always football season.
Yes, it'd be awesome to see him take the Rodgers year 3 jump, the Favre year 3 jump, but he's going to be the quarterback for the foreseeable future here.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
So when you keep saying pivotal year, I just wonder what is that fulcrum point that you actually think is going to happen?
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The deals are heating up at the Summer Savings Event all summer long at Cunis. Get the hottest savings of the year at nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and the new Cunis Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. We have sizzling new vehicle specials on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Or with one of our 10 pre-owned super specials, you'll be swimming in a pool of savings. Plus, keep your vehicle refreshed with our service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Get outside and enjoy the summer savings event at Cunis. Start your search online at CunisMilwaukee.com.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Avondale Roofing is knocking on your door. Leaking roof? Man, that's a shame. Call the real pros. We running this game. We patch it, thatch it, no need to stress. Our crew shows up and cleans up the mess. No drips, no drafts, no drama at all. Just tight new shingles that are leak-proof all. Hey.
It's nothing but Avondale, baby. They keep it dry when the weather gets crazy. Hey.
Visit AvondaleRoofing.com. That is AvondaleRoofing.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
With more than 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Erica, it's good to see you.
How are things at our amazing Germantown location?
Absolutely fantastic.
We heard you had a bold idea. What is it?
We're celebrating our 45th year in business, so I think we should give away some natural diamonds.
Wow, that is a bold idea. How many and how big?
3/4 of a carat. 9 natural diamonds, each one clarity enhanced for maximum brilliance. 1 diamond for each store.
How should we mount them, Erica?
We'll give them away as diamond pendants.
So each of the 9 Kessler stores will have their own diamond pendant to give away?
Yeah, and all a person will have to do is to walk into a store and register to win.
Can a person travel to all 9 stores and register at each one?
Yeah, why not? And people will have from now until July 28th to register.
I'm in.
Me too.
It's unanimous, and people should bring in all their old jewelry so that we can professionally clean it for them for free.
That makes so much difference.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle Bruston Nortman live from the Orpheum Theater in Madison ahead of Made 'em Believe, a reunion of the 2015 Wisconsin Final Four team. Who's on the agenda tonight, you ask? Well, let me tell you. How about Hall of Fame coach Bo Ryan will be here? How about National Player of the Year Frank Kaminsky will be here? How about Wisconsin legend first-round NBA draft pick Sam Decker will be here? How about Captain America, the glue of that team, Josh Gosser will be here? And then, Ben Brust will be here too. Hollywood Brust, as we're referring to him. I saw somebody on YouTube said, it's Ben's night. I know he's feeling untouchable. Hollywood Brust tonight on ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel. He's locked in. He's looking good. Looking forward to Benny and the crew putting on a big show. If you are in the Madison area and you are a Badgers fan, I got to call this must-see. You can't miss it. Can't miss event. There's still some tickets available. UWHoops2015.com is the website. Brad Nortman, Alex Ruff with you here on Kyle Brust and Nortman until 5 o'clock today on ESPN Milwaukee. We are reliving not a great moment for me last night at the Lakeshore Chinooks game as I threw out the first pitch. And, boy, when I say I sailed it, I don't even know if that does it justice. I mean, I sailed it. Ron in the Key on the Carbless Talk and text line said, it's a bit at this point, right? You're trying to go viral? Please? I hate to admit that this is not a bit. I wish I could be like, yeah, you got me. Yeah. Joke's up. No, it's not. I tried. I threw that thing as hard as I could, and it flew.
Yeah, and the thing is, KBN Nation, you all know Alex Strofe on the mic. And the Alex Strofe off the mic is very similar, honestly. He's like the same guy. And so he carries a level of confidence with him that makes him feel like he can walk into any circumstance and be able to do the thing. And most of the time it benefits him, especially on the radio where he's very well equipped and very well versed. But it is a disadvantage, a thorn in your side when you walk into the athletic arena. And I was thinking, I want to know what other area you're confident in, because that's what makes this is so fun, right? Because you walked into the combine situation, probably not thinking you'd put up draftable type numbers, but respectable numbers.
Right. Not draftable.
And you were so confident on the mound, telling us and our audience that you'll throw a strike. It'll be a laser beam strike.
Did you hear what I told Brust?
No.
I think Brust texted every host on ESPN Wisconsin today just to let him know what I told him before I threw the pitch. I said, dude, are you sure you don't want to find a catcher's mask?
Oh my gosh. See, that you can't make up and you can't fabricate that kind of confidence. So I want to know, Strofe, what are you confident in? Because I put together a short list of certain things that I think I want to see you at, and I want to know where you think, you know what, I can conquer that.
I think, like, in terms of the sports I'd feel confident in are pickleball, tennis, darts. That might be the list.
So tennis would be interesting. So could you return a serve from, like, a UW men's tennis player?
How many tries do I get? Just one?
5?
I think I could probably return one.
No
Racket.
shot.
Those
things are coming in at like over 110 miles per hour.
Those things are fast.
You just got to get a racket on it, though, because it'll do
but
the
you have
rest
to get
of
it
the
back
work.
in play.
Right, yeah.
Return.
As long as I get a racket on it, we'll be okay.
It could go any direction.
Okay, but I have confidence that I can angle the racket correctly in 5 attempts and get it back over the net. Now, once it gets back to them, I don't know if I can get it back again, but I think I can return the serve.
So Lexi's sister is a tennis player at the University of Portland. Okay?
Shut up.
Yes.
Oh, so we have easy access.
She's very good.
That's D1.
I wonder if you can even return her serves.
This is a D1 tennis player.
She's a D1 tennis player, and they play Pepperdine and just all those schools, right? She's going to be a sophomore. When she was like a junior in high school, she had a tournament, maybe even younger than maybe sophomore. She had a tournament in Jacksonville. So I went to go like warm up with her. Dude, those serves, I was trying to get back to them. Before long, I was just getting out of the way because those serves come back, they go up there, and it's boom. I mean, it is coming at you. So let alone I couldn't even get a racket on it. So I don't think you can get a racket on. I'd be curious if we can even get her to come do it, because I'm not sure you can even return any of her serves.
I like the idea of
can you return
Lexi's sister serving to me. That's not a bad idea by you.
Yeah.
That might be what's next. I want to get to some of the ideas from KBN Nation on the Cardless text line. 800-990-3776 is your way in to the talking text line. You can call in too, but text is where some of these ideas are rolling in. This one from Cody, and it's almost offensive. Strofe should do a first kick at a Milwaukee Wave game. They typically have little kids do that.
Is that like on the goal, or how do they do that? Now, a penalty kick would be interesting. See if you could even score.
Yeah.
You should be able to do that.
Yeah.
When's the last time you kicked a soccer ball?
My senior year of soccer, when I played varsity soccer for the worst team in the state because I lost a bet.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do want to see you shoot a basketball because you claim that you score double digits on JV.
And
that you were a baller of
double
sorts.
digits. Yeah, I was okay at hoops. I just haven't played hoops since college. I played a little bit of intramurals, but I really haven't shot a basketball probably outside of like 10-minute stretches in with the basketball hoop if I'm bored in my apartment building.
Yeah.
I really haven't shot a basketball consistently for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. So that would be rough.
What about we've talked about this before and need to execute it. Catching one of my punts.
Yep, we got to do that.
That was
because I saw somebody texted and I missed who it was. So I apologize whoever said this. It was Frank on the text line. He said catching punts from a jugs machine, but I think I should catch punts from you.
Yeah, it might as well have them be for me.
Yeah, we got to do that. Now, you have told the story before of you punting a football, and you haven't told the story in years, but you punted a football to a family member, right?
Yes.
And what happened?
He tore a ligament in his finger, and I was still warming up. Now, I was pro level at the time, so it was at some of my better time. when I was at my kind of peak punting. But I was just doing one-step punts, what I would consider 50% level punts. I did uncork one, to his defense, and it came down like a rocket. And he had a pretty good rhythm for it. He was getting underneath it, and it came down, and it just it shot back his finger. And he was at the time an interventional radiologist. So he was performing surgeries with his hand.
Oh, no.
So he was out for he had to get surgery on it. He had to do some physical therapy.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
So you ruined the surgeon's career.
For several months, yes.
Did he still get paid, though?
Yeah, he could just pivot to just reading.
So he could still contribute.
Yeah, X-rays.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it was a thing though, and it was pretty crazy. Yeah, he couldn't move it. It was nuts. People get routinely bruised. Their arms, their chest, routinely bruised because the ball comes down that hard. It's one thing to get underneath it, read the punt. It's another thing to have some courage to stand underneath it, and then to actually catch it because it comes down very hard. Physics would tell you that it comes down with the same velocity that it exits my leg.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that is, okay, that's physics.
Yeah, that's physics.
I don't like that.
No.
You were supposed to talk me into that. I think you just talked me out of that.
Oh, but you're brave. You got confidence.
I would do it.
That's the Alex Strofe I know.
I think I could catch a punt from you.
Yeah.
Should I wear a helmet?
I could give you one of my helmets.
Okay.
Maybe give you my shoulder pads. Really
yeah, that'd be good.
You.
I could use some protection.
Yeah, you need some protection.
I'd wear gloves.
I need no more liabilities on my conscience.
Well, good news for you is I am not a surgeon.
True.
So you wouldn't be. I do press buttons.
You can
though.
talk.
But
Yeah,
I do press buttons. I produce the show regularly, so I would need my hands.
Yes.
But we could figure out a way around that if I do tear a ligament. Mike chimes in. Strofe should just stick to bowling or shooting pool. I'm okay at shooting pool. I'm really bad at bowling. Craig chimes in. Strofe, you should just try esports. That's crazy.
Have you ever tried skateboarding?
No, and that's a bad idea. I would hurt myself.
Yeah, I would hurt myself.
If you can't ice skate, you can't skateboard.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I like electric scooters, but I don't have to do much on those.
Yeah, you just ride them.
Yeah, I could try to do tricks on an electric scooter. But yeah, no, that's a bad idea too. Okay, keep those ideas coming. We're going to figure out what's next for me because my irrational confidence is still there. If you gave me another crack at a first pitch, I'd throw a strike. I'm confident.
How can you say that?
Because I know what I did wrong now.
Oh.
I might overcorrect and bounce it in, but the third time's the charm on that. So
this is the confidence that is just setting you up for failure.
Well, the Chinooks texted me late last night, our contact Joey from the Chinooks, and he's like, dude, you're welcome back anytime. That was electric.
That's amazing.
And I don't
At
agree
least
with
you're
him
in demand.
Well, that's probably strong. But I'd like another crack at a first pitch at some point. Sadler and Madison chimes in. Strophe should try ballet.
Oh, some pretty good suggestions.
My girlfriend was an NBA dancer, so she's a terrific dancer. She was a collegiate dancer, danced in the NBA for a while for the Indiana Pacers, so she's a little heartbroken this week. But when she lived in Indiana, she danced professionally and worked for the Indiana Pacers and was part of their dance team and did some stuff there. So I could get some good pointers on dancing. I don't know about ballet. I'm not sure if she ever did that. But I could maybe learn a little hip-hop dancing.
Routine?
Yeah, I could dance for you. We're at the Orpheum Theater. We have a stage. I mean, I could come up with something there. So
does it feel, well, maybe it's in bad taste to say.
Uh-oh.
Does it feel like a little bit like Abraham Lincoln style up here?
Well, that's where we're sitting. We're in the booth. We're that is
poor taste.
100% in poor taste.
We are in one of those
You're referring
side
to the assassination of a president of the United States. Yeah, it's a little bit in poor taste.
It just feels that's not the vibes I get. But I've never been in a side balcony. It's a little sweet like we are right now.
You don't think anybody's out to get you, do you?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm
going to keep my head on a swivel behind the stairs now.
Sure as hell hope not, but we will see. Dave from Aaron chimes in. Strofe, you failed at cornhole. No, my girlfriend failed at cornhole. I was good at cornhole. He says, try giving badminton a shot. Don't have to be athletic, and you shouldn't get hurt doing that. Yeah, that's a fair point by you, Dave from Aaron. 800-990 is the Carbless talk and text line. And Brad, after the show, while we're here at the Orpheum Theater, I think I'm going to one of those carblesses.
Oh, even just the sound of that and hearing carbless gets me excited. It's a Friday for me. I'm off the show tomorrow. So right when the stroke of 5 hits, I'm going to be opening up a Carbless and enjoying everything that Carbless has in store for me, which is everything I love about it, right? I trust what's in the can. That's because I need to know what is going in my body. I trust the ingredients, and it is a guilt-free experience because I got to work out in today. I want to be able to try to live a little bit more of a conscious lifestyle, and Carbless delivers that for me. 100 calories per can, no carbs, no gluten, no sugar, and less carbonation. That way my stomach feels a little bit better when I drink it, and certainly less bloating, especially compared to all those other guys that are just flavorless and beyond carbonated. And speaking of flavor, there's a flavor for everyone. Tropical Bliss Variety Pack, mango, watermelon, those are the new flavors on the shelf. But boy, oh boy, something about the heat outside makes me dig the Margarita Variety Pack. The classic cocktails always have a place in the Nortman fridge. There's something for everyone. In fact, we're having some of Lexi's girlfriends visit from Florida. They've tried Carbless once or twice. They actually can't get it in Carbless right now. Fridge is stocked with Carbless. They were texting me, said, there better be Carbless there. I said, girls, you better believe there is. Less is more with Carbless.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about those friends visiting a bit later in the show. What does a Wisconsin weekend look like? Must-do Wisconsin weekend. We will talk about that a bit later. As Brad is hosting, how many women is it?
There's 7 women visiting, and they're all Lexi's great friends from Jacksonville. I'm good.
So
friends
are you
with their
involved in like the plans?
Well, I'm on like daycare duty most of the time, but yeah, I mean, there's I'm coordinating driving, and even for the baby shower, which is on Sunday, which is what Lexi's celebrating, I'm there. We're gonna take pictures. I'm gonna show up later for. I'm playing a little bit of role in this baby shower.
All right, good for you. Good for you. So we will get to that a bit later, but we are live at the Orpheum Theater in downtown Madison on State Street. You have to see this place. You got to get out here. This is going to be a must-see presentation for any diehard Badgers fan, especially Badgers basketball fans like myself. If you were a huge fan like I was of this Badgers team back in 2015 that made it to the national championship against Duke, Justice Winslow touched it, by the way. We can get that out of the way. I'm sure that'll be discussed at some point tonight. Josh Gosser, Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, Coach Bo Ryan, Ben Bruster, all here, including some special cameos for about a 1.5 to 2 hour presentation tonight, reflecting on that run that was 10 years ago. There are still a couple tickets available. UWHoops2015.com is the website to get your tickets tonight. Secure those if you're in the Madison area. You got to be here. It's going to be so cool. I've been here looking at the run of show, looking at the stage, looking at Ben Brust in his button-up, looking as handsome as ever. I mean, it is going to be an absolute thrill tonight at the Orpheum Theater. So don't miss out. UWHoops2015.com is the website. But coming up next, we got to talk a little Milwaukee Bucks because the NBA draft, night 1 is in the books. Obviously, the Bucks did not have a pick last night. They didn't make any moves. They didn't move up back into the first round. They have the 17th pick tonight in the second round. But I heard Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio float an idea. And I hate to say it, it might actually make a little bit of sense. We'll hear from Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. Coming up next, it's Kyle Brust and Nortman live from Orpheum Theater in Madison on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
And I'm like, you know what? Lola the Bunny was kind of strapped.
Okay, here's as far as I'm... All I'll be able to say is I get why Bugs was so love-drunk over Lola. I get it.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then, the first 25,000 fans at the game on Saturday, June 28th, get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an Eastside event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints for your painting project at Menards. Max Bond Plus exterior paint and primer is designed to stand strong against weather extremes. It provides max adhesion, hide, and performance while repelling rain in just 90 minutes after application. And with Dutch Boy's high-performing paints that last, transforming your home has never been easier. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints and head into Menards to get your paint project started today.
Save big money at Menards.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 5.5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Crystal Farm shredded or chunk cheese, 2 for $5. 9 to 16 ounce selected varieties Old Dutch tortilla or crunch chips or salsa, 2 for $5.50. 10 to 10.8 ounce selected varieties Bird's Eye frozen vegetables, 4 for $5. 18 to 54 count selected varieties Hefty plates or bowls, 2 for $5.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle Brust and Nortman, ESPN Wisconsin, live from the Orpheum Theater in Madison ahead of Made 'em Believe, a celebration of the 2015 Wisconsin Badgers National Championship runner-up team. Frank Kaminsky, Bo Ryan, Josh Gosser, and Sam Decker will all be on the stage here at the Orpheum Theater later tonight, moderated by our buddy Ben Brust, who is on assignment today. Kyle Wallace also on assignment. Alex Strofe and Brad Nortman hanging out with you until 5 o'clock on ESPN Wisconsin. Well, it is day 2 of the NBA draft. And while we will be excited for two Wisconsin collegiate athletes, Cam Jones and John Tonje, who are both likely to be drafted tonight in the NBA draft, it's hard not to be a little pessimistic about the Milwaukee Bucks because there's not a lot they can do to stack the rotation around Giannis for the upcoming season, even though I think we are all pretty hell-bent that Giannis will remain a Milwaukee Buck in 25-26 and into the future. But it is looking like it could be a dim year, could be a bad year. And the Bucks certainly have the opportunity to ponder the idea of moving on from Giannis because obviously it would be better to get something for him rather than nothing if he is to leave in free agency in a few seasons, Bradley. Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, he uses the NBA Trade Finder unlike anybody else on the planet. Right, I remember when the Bucks traded Chris Middleton, we did some specialty programming that I had him on for. And on the radio, he was literally tinkering with the ESPN NBA Trade Finder, trade machine, trying to figure out if the Bucks weren't done during the trade deadline last year, what more they could do. I think he might have been on a trade machine kick recently before he signed on the air and on Sportsmanlike this morning because he has an idea, and it's actually not awful. Here is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, ESPN Radio, weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on ESPN Madison, 5 to 7, leading into Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on ESPN Milwaukee. Here is what he threw out there as a potential trade option for Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks.
In my opinion, if you're the Atlanta Hawks, after that night last night, you should be on the phone with John Horst, the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks, this morning. And you should be calling him and you should say, John, I know you're not interested yet at this point in trading Giannis. Be respectful. But if that moment comes up, we'd like to be a part of the conversation. Oh, yeah? Why? Well, here's why. So we have your pick next year if we want it, which means if we give it back to you and you want to have this bad gap year and you want to tank without Giannis, you will have a chance of getting A.J. Debanza, who maybe could be your Giannis replacement. But wait, there's more. We also have the number 1 pick in the draft from last year in Zachary Risache, who, as CeCe just mentioned, really shown flashes. Oh, and by the way, we have this guy that we drafted towards the end of the first round from Duke, who we have a contract extension already in place for $30 million a year by the name of Jalen Johnson, a forward. And he's from your state in Wisconsin. And we have a bunch of future picks. And so we're going to give you all of these opportunities, these young players and draft picks.
That's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike floating the idea of the Atlanta Hawks ringing John Horst's phone. And I'll just say this, Bradley, before I give you the floor. I have yet to hear a potential trade offer that's made me go, I actually might be open to that, until I heard that one.
Yeah, this trade, I had to listen to it a couple times because normally when I receive any sort of Giannis trade input, it's met with rejection. Because I'm just not interested. What could possibly be of great enough value to trade a cornerstone of the franchise and someone that helped remake not only the Milwaukee Bucks, but the city of Milwaukee? But that was an interesting trade, and for my opinion, for a couple of reasons. One is because what the Milwaukee Bucks get. If it were to come to the case where Giannis would want out or the Milwaukee Bucks decide this is the time where we can reinvent ourselves, you're talking about a number of picks, which Evan pointed out, number 1 pick from last year. And I got to be honest, I didn't know much about, I'm going to butcher the last name, I'm just going to go by his first name, AJ, right? This Cooper Flag of 2026, basically, where he was the number 1 recruit in all of high school basketball, going to BYU because he had a monstrous NIL deal. And in that clip, I believe it was either before or after that, Evan made the observation that some are saying that this guy's better than Cooper Flag. And Cooper Flag might be the best prospect since LeBron James, maybe with Wemby thrown in there, maybe Zion Williamson. All guys that are absolute dudes that would change your franchise. And not to mention Jalen Johnson, who is a Wisconsin native. And, there's a lot that you could work with. But most of these trades that I hear, when Milwaukee Bucks get a flood of talent and opportunities via draft picks, you would look at it and say, well, the other team is being completely gutted. And most of these teams are West Coast, so you're talking about them being in the Western Conference, and they really have no path to a championship, which we know Giannis prioritizes. If it's the Atlanta Hawks, it keeps them in the wide open East. And he's paired with scorer Trae Young, a couple other defensive type pieces that they have, and they weren't a bad team last year. They were in the playoff area, and somebody like Giannis, paired with some of their current pieces, the Atlanta Hawks could really, really, really make some noise next season or the season after in, again, the wide open East. So this is one of the rare trades where you both sides and the third side of Giannis might also look at it and say, kind of makes sense for everybody. Now, I'm still in the team, keep Giannis in Milwaukee because he's a bona fide superstar. Even if Atlanta does trade you that draft pick, that Milwaukee, that would be reflective of their record. I believe that's also the worst of the Pelicans and the Bucks. So the Pelicans stink. So you have a really good chance to get that number 1 draft pick. You might not. You might get the 6th overall pick. You might get the 4th. You might get the 10th. So it's not a sure thing, but this is the best trade I've heard where the Bucks, the Hawks, and Giannis would walk away and say, we are getting everything we want to some degree. It's the first time I'm having pause to being like, no. And it's like, well, that's interesting. My heart says no, but my head says
maybe.
I'm listening.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
My ears are certainly open, depending on what those future picks would be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I still think when you look across the landscape of the NBA and look at guys that have been traded for 4 or 5 or 6 first-round picks, they're not Giannis, right?
No,
they ain't Giannis. But if you throw in Zachary Sachet, if you throw in Jalen Johnson, if you get next year's pick, if you get multiple first-round picks, I mean, you'd need at least 3 or 4
right.
On top of those players. All of a sudden, we might be looking at something going, okay, this might work, right? Because Reece Sachet, last year's first overall pick, is seems to be a really nice up-and-coming player. Now, he played, 75 games this year, started 73 of them, averaged just over 12 points a game this season for the Atlanta Hawks. There's still plenty of growth to be had for him, but year one wasn't bad. Not Rookie of the Year good, but it wasn't bad for him. He's a guy that certainly intrigues me. I like Jalen Johnson's game a lot, but maybe I'm biased because I think he's probably the second best high school basketball player after Con Knipple, who was drafted last night, that I've covered and watched up close and personal. I've been like, holy smokes, this guy's unreal.
Yeah.
But that is a take from Evan Cohen that makes me go, So maybe there is a potential offer out there because I've said it time and time again, right? Like, I don't care if you offer me 76 first-round picks or not getting another Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
I might have changed my tune a little bit when I hear this from Evan Cohen.
Yeah, no doubt about it, especially if there is any decent chance of getting next year's first overall pick, because that's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for superstars. If you get 6 first-round draft picks, but they're all 6 through 15, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but the real talent is really top-heavy in the NBA, not quite like the NFL. So I look at it and say, if you're able to have either the New Orleans or Milwaukee pick, and maybe, just maybe, the NBA looks favorably upon the Milwaukee Bucks and you get it, that would interest me. And then the other thing is, if Giannis does want to come back and say, I'm a Milwaukee Buck, that's who I am in my DNA. Again, my big fear is in 2 years in free agency, he could just saunter onto another team. If he comes back and he says, I want to be a Milwaukee Buck, I don't know if the Milwaukee Bucks have this kind of leverage. I almost wonder if John Horst says, okay, then sign an extension.
Right.
Sign an extension. Right. We got 2 years left on your deal. Let's tack on another 3 at the end of that. So at least the Bucks, if Giannis ever does want to say in 2 years, you know what, I do want to go, at least you trade him and get something for him.
Yeah.
The biggest fear I have
Agreed.
is free agency of 2027.
I agree with you on that, right? Because, I mean, I think it'd be really, for the most part, dumb to move on from Giannis unless the package makes sense,
Yeah.
right? And it needs to make a ton of sense. You would need to look at that trade on paper and go, the Bucks won.
Yeah.
Which, think about how hard that is to do with the second best player in the world in Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Totally.
If you are to trade him, I don't know what you could put on paper to make me go, oh yeah, Bucks won. It's hard to do. But Evan brings up a fair point with Atlanta as a potential trade partner. I mean, if you're going dancing, it's like, well, that one might make a little bit of sense. We will talk more about the Bucks and maybe what they look to do tonight, if they are to make a move tonight of any capacity to shake up their roster for the 2025-26 season. It's very, 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 very unlikely anything involves Giannis tonight or even in the next coming weeks. I think it would be August or September if Giannis was to be moved. Just given on the landscape of the NBA, let a couple chips fall, and then all of a sudden you never know. But I think it's unlikely they trade him to begin with. But anyway, all right, Brad Nortman, Alex Stroff with you. It's Kyle Brust and Nortman live from the Orpheum Theater. It is Thursday on KBN, which means Brad and I, coming up next, get the team up on one of our favorite games we play every week, Over Under. Will Summers, who is producing the show back at the Gruber Law Office, is one called That's All Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. By the way, what's up, Will? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're loving it.
Excellent.
Will has a topic for us. He has set an over-under line, so it's a list of 10 things. We'll get 10 guesses to get as many as we can. Caller 12, you will get to pick which side you're on. The over or the under. Caller 15, you will be on the other side. Caller 12, caller 15 right now, you will be our contestants for over-under. 800-990-3776, 800-990-ESPN. Caller 12, caller 15, it is over-under time. Coming up next on KBN, 800-990-3776. Caller 12, caller 15. Over-under is next on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
And you're disrupting my flow.
No, your flow.
Dang nabbit. Dang nabbit, I had a good flow.
Gee golly willikers.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is back at the Bog. Tune in all day July 15th for our ESPN Milwaukee crew having fun and hitting the links. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is sponsored by Marquette Athletics, PCI Construction, Discount Liquor, Loyal Family Renovations, The Jewelry Center, and Tony Wendorf and Associates. Join in on the fun July 15th on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, I'm buying a fixer-upper for my first home. Is that something you can help with?
Of course. We are here for all your construction needs at Professional Construction, Inc. With over 20 years of experience, our team will help from the design process through the finished product.
The living room with lime green and wood-paneled covered walls with shag carpets isn't quite working for me.
That's not quite my style either. But regardless, we are here to make your dreams a reality. Visit us at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
Milwaukee just got hotter. Announcing the buys of summer at Ewald Automotive Group. Get the lowest prices guaranteed on new vehicles. We'll beat your best price by $500 or we'll pay you $500 cash. Guaranteed. With over 1,500 vehicles to choose, you're sure to find the perfect ride for your family. 11 brands, 10 locations, one easy experience. Don't miss Ewald's Buys of Summer sales event going on now.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
See dealer for details. Expires month end.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
In my mind when she's not right there beside me, I go crazy.
Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin, live from the Orpheum Theater ahead of tonight's Made 'em Believe. You might be getting a little sneak peek in the background as Ben Brust rolling through rehearsal right now. We are located, this would be stage right.
Stage right, because I believe it's how the actors see it.
Yeah, so
the performers, if you will.
We are stage right above the stage, watching Ben Brust pace and run through his script for tonight. It is going to be a must-see event here at the Orpheum Theater in downtown Madison, so you still have some time to get tickets. There's not many left, But you better get on it because this is going to be must-see for any Badgers fans. UWHoops2015.com is the website for tickets. I'm Alex Strofe. That is the former NFL punter, former Wisconsin Badgers punter, Brad Nortman here on KBN today. Will Summers is our producer running the show. And each and every Thursday at this time, we play a little game, a little thing we call Over-Under.
Will the guys hit the over or will they disappoint? It's time for Over-Under on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Over-Under time on KBN. Will Summers has a topic for Brad and I and an over-under line. Caller 12, caller 15 had the option of picking either the over or the under. We will have 3 minutes to get as many right as we can. Will, first, before you give us our topic, who are our contestants today?
We got Dorf in Cottage Grove. He's on the over, and Scott is on the under.
All right, Scott and Dorf. You said Dorf is on the what? Excuse me, sorry, I'm hearing things in the background.
The over. He was caller 12.
The over. Oh, he believes in us. I'd like to hear
go.
that. Like to hear that. Well, what is our category? And Brad, I'll just say it now. I'm going to be our final answer because I don't often get to play this game.
I like it.
All right. So, Strofe, where did you throw out the first pitch last night, just out of curiosity?
I threw it out at Capco Park, the home of the Lakeshore Chinooks.
Which is by which body of water?
Lake Michigan.
Which is a part of which group of lakes?
The Great Lakes.
Correct. And what is the Chinooks mascot?
It's a fish, the Chinook.
All right, so for today, we are doing the 10 most populous fish in the Great Lakes. The over-under is set at 4.5. I think every time I've gone with you guys have scored 10 on me, so I had to toughen it up a little bit.
What'd you say the over-under line was here? 4.5.
And for reference, you have to get the type of fish. So you can't just say salmon. It has to be the type of salmon.
Oh, jeez. Well, I don't know types of fish. Okay, we're ready.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay, can I say sturgeon, or is there a type of sturgeon? Let's do this. Largemouth bass would be one of them.
Bass.
Yeah, final answer.
Oh, no. My gosh.
Smallmouth bass, final answer. Nice.
Okay, huge.
Northern?
Yeah, those are a part. Are muskies? Are those only a part of, like,
this is embarrassing.
Normal lakes?
This is absurd topic. Okay, I know sturgeon spearing is big, but I don't know if sturgeon is a good enough answer here.
But I've never heard like a sturgeon characteristic. Like
I haven't either. Okay, so let's just go sturgeon. Final answer. How?
Gosh. How about
muskie?
Are there muskies in?
I don't fish.
I don't fish either. At least not on the big lakes.
Wait,
but muskies are all.
2 minutes.
Muskie is.
Hold on. What's a Chinook?
Maybe a Chinook.
They are the Lakeshore Chinooks.
Has to be.
What is a Chinook, though? I've never heard of that outside of the baseball team.
I don't know.
What's your number one option in your head right now?
Muskie. It's the state fish of Wisconsin.
Okay, muskie. Final answer.
Oh my
goodness
gracious! In trouble.
This is bad.
What other kind of fish are there even? I'm more familiar with like ocean.
Have we said
fish.
northern yet?
We did not say northern.
Northern. Final answer.
Okay.
Nice. How many do we have right?
2.
How many guesses have we had?
I believe 5.
Okay, so we have 5 guesses left, and we need to get 3 of them right.
3, yeah.
Okay.
3 or 5.
We haven't. What have we not said now?
What about like is there cod? Because that's like there's like a fish fry, right? Beer battered cod. Bluegill.
Hold on. I think we're overthinking this. Bluegill. What do we eat? Salmon. But what kind of salmon is
1 minute.
That's that I'm yeah. I was gonna say like yellowfin, but it's tuna. that's in the ocean. Swordfish. I don't know.
All right. We haven't. What have we not said? Muskie.
Snapper.
Okay, let's go bluegill. Final answer.
Yeah.
Oh goodness gracious.
There's gotta be cod.
I gotta do it, Brad. Okay. Chinook. Final answer.
It's Chinook salmon. I'll give it to you.
Chinook salmon.
Oh, that's a salmon.
Wow, who knew?
30
Not
seconds.
me. Not I.
We have cod, snapper.
Snapper south. That's not right.
Okay.
Cod. Final answer.
I think
perch. Final answer.
Yellow perch. I'll give it to you.
It's pretty good.
Do we need one more?
Dude, I'm out. I don't. What's on the menu?
10.
It can't be like
9,
bullfish, can it?
8.
Catfish.
7.
You think catfish
6,
is one of them?
No. 5.
Well, we're out of time. I got to do it. Catfish, final answer.
1.
Oh, my God.
I think that there's a couple reasonable ones on here you guys could have got, like walleye.
Oh, sure.
Oh, walleye.
Rainbow trout.
Oh, rainbow trout.
Lake trout.
I wouldn't. Trout is bad, but
Trout, yeah. We should have got trout.
Oh, man. All right. Well, congratulations to whoever had the under.
We do not look like outdoorsmen now.
Rob in the 262 says, Strofe, Brad, you guys are embarrassing. Which, Rob, fair point.
How do you know what kind of fish are in the Great Lakes?
Well, this might have been the all-time dumbest over-under time.
I mean, you guys got 4, so I set the line perfectly.
Yeah, you did. Well done by you.
It was a good line.
Wow, I am embarrassed.
Trout, walleye, carp.
Okay. Well, that does it for over-under. Yikes. Coming up next, we have Jason Wilde coming up in about 10 minutes or so, 12 minutes or so, with us after next segment. So I do want to pivot to the Packers coming up next because I want to get into it a bit with Jason Wilde. But Pro Football Focus, known clickbait forum and platform, added again, and it's got to be maybe the biggest load of bologna sausage I've seen this offseason.
Oh, wow.
I will tell you what that is coming up next as we talk a little Packers and get into a conversation with Jason Wilde. All still ahead in the 3 o'clock hour. Brad Nortman, Alex Strobe. It's Kyle Bruston Nortman live from Orpheum Theater ahead of Made 'em Believe.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman. Ready for a fresh ride? Tsunami Express Car Wash is now open in New Berlin. Surf to Tsunami Express and enjoy free washes, giveaways, and membership deals during our grand opening celebration now through July 6th. Tsunami Express uses best-in-class technology, making washing your car fun, fast, and easy. After your wash, enjoy our free premium amenities like powerful vacuums and air for your tires. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com/New Berlin.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Avondale Roofing is knocking on your door. Leaking roof? Man, that's a shame. Call the real pros. We running this game. We patch it, thatch it, no need to stress. Our crew shows up and cleans up the mess. No drips, no drafts, no drama at all. Just tight new shingles and a leak-proof hall. Hey.
It's nothing but Avondale, baby. They keep it dry when the weather gets crazy. Hey.
Visit AvondaleRoofing.com. That is AvondaleRoofing.com.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
The internet is a fascinating place, man. You never know what you're going to see. You never know what you're going to see. Kyle Bruston Nortman live from the Orpheum in downtown Madison, right on State Street. Alex Stroh, Brad Nortman hanging out with you. Had a Made 'em Believe here tonight at the Orpheum Theater. Tickets still available, uwhoops2015.com. Well, we've been talking a lot and all day. It's been talked about a lot, unfortunately. My awful first pitch last night at the Lafleur Chinooks game. So Cato Kalin was O.J. Simpson's house guest. He lived in a guest house on O.J. Simpson's property and was a key witness in the O.J. Simpson murder trial. Cato Kalin just tweeted that he could throw a better first pitch than me.
So random. Imagine Cato Kalin seeing you throw this pitch, and then the first instinct is, I can do better than that. I don't know if he's not an athlete by nature either, so he's just coming at your head. He's like an entertainment guy. He is all the...
Yeah, and look, I mean, obviously there's a ton of details around the O.J. Simpson murder trial, and I think all of us at one point or another in our lives, even, obviously many of you remember where you were when that interrupted the NBA Finals game, obviously the Chevy Bronco chase. But I guess I forgot about this detail or never knew it. So Kato Kalin and O.J. Simpson, it was talked about on the trial, they ate McDonald's together the night of the murders.
Yeah, they went out and got burgers.
Yeah.
Weird.
Strange. And that's who's saying they could throw a better first pitch than me. Internet.
Does that make you feel better or worse or nothing? Confused?
Confused would probably be the word.
It means you're doing good numbers, though.
Yeah, the internet's just such a fascinating place, man. You never know who's going to pop up or comment on something.
I bet you never knew that you would have somebody integral to the
O.J. Simpson murder trial.
Yes. Have any awareness of you or have any
no
sort
doubt. Strange.
Crazy place.
Well, speaking of the internet being a strange place, the internet allows anybody to write articles and allows anybody to have a voice, which is a good thing most of the time, except when you're on Pro Football Focus's website today. And you read the top 10 returning NFL head coaches in 2025. Let's just roll through this list, Bradley, and let me know if you think there's a name missing. All right, number 1, Andy Reid. That's fair, right?
Very fair.
Number 2, Sean Payton of the Denver Broncos.
Well, 2 seems high, but top 10 might be fair.
What have you done for me lately, maybe?
Turned him around.
Well, yeah, but
to some degree.
To some degree. Number 3 on that list, Sean McVay. Sure.
Yeah, very
Give me that. 4, John Harbaugh. Baltimore Ravens. I'm fine with that. 5, Mike Tomlin. Sure.
Yeah.
6, Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers.
Interesting. Maybe pulling back from his San Francisco days, but
I mean, but still a good head coach. I think everybody believes in him. 7, Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco. No complaints there. 8, the reigning Super Bowl champion Nick Sirianni from Philadelphia. Sure. 9, Dan Campbell, Detroit. And 10, Kevin Stefanski from Cleveland.
Where's our old friend?
Our old friend, Matt Lafleur, nowhere to be found on Pro Football Focus's listings of the top 10 returning NFL head coaches in 2025. And look, I get we got to do something this time of year if you're covering the NFL 24/7, 365. You got to do something to drum up clicks to your website. You got to do something to generate buzz and conversation. But putting Kevin Stefanski and Sean Payton ahead of Matt LaFleur in a list of top 10 NFL head coaches is the biggest load of bologna sausage I've seen all offseason. Like, that is bananas to me. That is bonkers. And there's a lot of good head coaches in the NFL. I'm not disagreeing with the fact that Kevin Stefanski and Sean Payton are good head coaches. I'm disagreeing with the fact of how can you turn a blind eye to a man who won 2 games with Malik Willis at quarterback last year? There was a report last season that Malik Willis struggled with football, and Matt LaFleur immediately went out and won 2 football games with him.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is consistently snubbed of NFL Coach of the Year candidacy, which he probably should have won like 3 times by this point during his tenure as the Packers head coach. He rejuvenated Aaron Rodgers back into MVP form. He seamlessly transitioned from an MVP Hall of Fame quarterback to a playoff winning team. And you're telling me Matt LaFleur isn't a top 10 head coach in the NFL, let alone the fact that he's probably a top 5 play caller in the NFL.
Yes.
He's also a damn good head coach. He made the change last year from Joe Barry to Jeff Hafley and elevated that defense to a top 5 defense in the National Football League. And he's nowhere to be found on this list at Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, I mean, Strofe, you're right in a lot of sense. I think Matt LaFleur should probably be 10. I don't think he's as much of a home run being in the top 10. Kevin Stefanski, I get that he has created some of optimism and consistency, if you can even call it that, in Cleveland, amid nothing but chaos. But I can understand Sean Payton ahead of Matt LaFleur. If you're going to say last season or last 2 seasons, then yeah, I think that Matt LaFleur has a really good case over Sean Payton. But if you're taking it holistically of who are the best head coaches just from a career standpoint, then I think Sean Payton has a really good argument to be ahead of Matt LaFleur. But that Kevin Stefanski over Matt LaFleur is nothing short of laughable. But I think that's where Matt LaFleur stops, though. I think he's somewhere between 8 to 10, 8 to 11, because not included in this. It's only returning head coaches. So Pete Carroll, he's not on the list. He's not considered in this. And also, I could make an argument for Sean McDermott maybe being on this list.
I agree.
So
I think that's another snub.
There is a tier of coaches that are on this, Matt LaFleur in it, that should certainly be in this. Kevin Stefanski should probably be like 15 or worse.
Kevin Stefanski might not have a job after this year.
Yeah, that's an absolute shock. But the other 10 names, I can't make a good argument for Matt LaFleur being over the top of them. Now, if he would have closed the door on that Super Bowl era with Aaron Rodgers, then maybe, just maybe, he could put himself in the top 6 or so. But that was a wonderful time for Packer fans, but a bit of a letdown not getting an MVP-type caliber player, an MVP-winning caliber player in Aaron Rodgers, to actually win a Super Bowl. And he's done a very noble job with an incredibly young team, historically young team every year, to now get double-digit wins and playoff appearances. But he has not put himself among the top echelon, the elite coaches in the NFL. Kevin Stefanski should be out. Matt LaFleur should be in at 10, but I can't really put him much higher than that until he goes a little bit further.
I want to have the conversation a bit later in the program, maybe in the 4 o'clock hour, because I had this conversation yesterday on Mr. Irrelevant, and I'm always fascinated by Packers fans' view of the head coach, because I know there are plenty of people, Brad. I mean, you've done this long enough at this point. Since the season ended in January with the playoff loss to Philadelphia, there are plenty of people in the Packers fan base that don't believe in Matt LaFleur, right? You've heard all the nicknames, right? Matt LaFraud, Matt doesn't know anything, right? I mean, like, there are many, many Packers fans that do not have confidence in Matt LaFleur. So I want to get into that a little bit later, in reference to this list in which he doesn't crack the top 10 of returning NFL head coaches. I think that's bonkers. I think he's a really good head coach. I have a ton of faith in him. But I know that's not how every Packers fan feels. So I do want to have that conversation a little bit later, and we will certainly have it coming up next when Jason Wilde, the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, joins us. But before that, Bradley, KB La. Tell us about our friends over at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Oh, KB La. When you hear that, you should be thinking Gina Della from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Especially like now, when I walked in here, Strofe, it was blazing hot. Humidity is out in the summertime. You want to keep that out. You want to keep that cold air-conditioned air in. Keep the bugs, keep the heat out. The best way to do that, the durable, the beautiful, the high-performing, and the home value increasing windows and doors from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, because they are top of the line. They can meet you in any budget. They can match any color, any craftsmanship. Everything they make is custom made for you. So you know it's going to fit, you know it's going to work, you know it's going to increase the value of your home, decrease your energy costs, and transform your home from the inside out. And now is a great time to make that step, because you're probably thinking to yourself, man, these old doors, I feel the heat. My energy is running off like crazy, and this is a quick way to increase my home value. Between now and June 30th, so you only got 4 days, set that in-home consultation, free in-home consultation, and you can take advantage of their deal now. No payments and no interest for 2 years. That's 24 months. Not a dime leaves your bank account, and you get to enjoy the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin treat every single day. So go to PellaWI.com and set that free in-home consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We dive into the PFF list and all things green and gold with the legend, Jason Wilde. Joins us coming up next. It's Kyle Bruston Nortman live from the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
I legitimately understand sugar.
Is it good, Brad?
It's unbelievable. It's so good. I'm changed. Not for the better.
Come on.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Starting off with some accidents on the road. 43 southbound, just south of Bender Road. We've got an accident and the right lane is blocked. Watch out for the delays heading through that area anyway because of the construction going on. So that's going to take it very heavy from Brown Deer Road down to that point. Southbound on 41, we've got backups pretty much solid all the way down to about Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, scattered showers and storms, a low of 69. Tomorrow, slight chance for morning showers, afternoon sunshine, though, with a high of 80. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. From From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on July 1st.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the New York Mets.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in July 1st at 6:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then, the first 25,000 fans at the game on Saturday, June 28th, get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot Wisconsin sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $400 off your awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16 at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the Events tab.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle Brust and Nortman rolls on live from the Orpheum Theater in downtown Madison. Made 'em believe coming up tonight at the Orpheum Theater. Josh Gosser, Sam Decker, Frank Kaminsky, Bo Ryan, Ben Brust, reliving the glory days a decade ago when the Badgers were national runner-ups, losing to Duke. Justice Winslow touched it in the national championship game.
Do you remember where you were when they played Kentucky in 2015?
I do.
This was an undefeated Kentucky team.
Yes, I do remember where I was. I was at prom.
You were at prom.
I was at prom now.
Cool.
And they had it on in the auditorium. And, all of us were in there. Nobody was dancing. All the guys were in there. Yeah.
Wow.
There was no slow dancing happening while that game was on.
As a young man, even especially, more focused on Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where my date was at that point. I was just hanging in the auditorium watching my boys get a nice victory. And then Monday night, I went to my best friend's house. Sat in his basement with him and his dad. We watched that game. I left as soon as that game ended, and I was very upset. I got in my car, and I yelled many expletives. I was very upset.
Yeah, I remember where I was too. I was lived in Charlotte at the time, obviously, and we were at that. It was a Saturday night, obviously, when Wisconsin played Kentucky. We were at a birthday party, but it was like a birthday party of one of our friends. It was all like our favorite couples that lived there. Indoor, outdoor, it was a beautiful day in Charlotte, and I remember about midway through the first half, all the guys started kind of congregating in the living room and we're watching this game. I'm wearing Wisconsin stuff. We had the whole party cheering for Wisconsin. It was a blast. Couldn't believe it. There were even a couple of, Southern people rooting for Kentucky there. So it was a nice little rivalry. But I'm not going to lie. I mean, I bleed red. And I thought Wisconsin was going to lose. That Kentucky team was next level great. And we thought they were just going to storm right through and have a undefeated season. But winning that game, and then we had a small get-together on Monday night, then watching the game in Charlotte at our apartment. And, man, I had rarely been so stoked for a game I wasn't participating in.
Yeah.
National championship game, and Wisconsin basketball, it just seemed like it was a year of destiny. Frank was player of the year, and man, it was just heartbreak, especially the way they lost, because it felt like they were in control. They had the lead, and it just cascaded. We already talked about Justice Winslow, hard to bring up.
That is hard to bring up, I agree.
It's just so close. And such a memorable season that one of those when you have a sporting event that you remember distinctly where you were. I even remember what I was wearing. That's a core memory right there.
I'll say this because we know I'm a huge college basketball fan, and I think my love for college hoops roots from some of those teams.
Yeah.
And thank God he's not on the air with us today because I'm going to say some really nice things about Ben Brust.
Yeah, good. Turn it off. Scrub it from the record.
Yeah, scrub it from the record. But I'm going to say it right now. When you think of those guys, right, it's the Ben Brusts, it's the Jordan Taylors, it's the guys that kind of ushered in that era of Wisconsin basketball. And obviously Benny was a part of that first Final Four team, wasn't a part of the 2015 team in which we're celebrating tonight at the Orpheum Theater. But the way that some of those guys ushered in that era, and it was, oh my goodness, Wisconsin is on par with the Kentuckys, with the Dukes, with the North Carolinas, with the Kansases, with the UConns of the world. They were on that same pedestal for multiple years in a row because they were that fun. And by no means did Wisconsin basketball play the sexiest style of basketball. Right, they were not the Badgers that we saw this past season with John Tonje, who's going to get drafted likely tonight in the NBA draft, where it's shooting threes, it's fast-paced, it's great defense. The style of basketball they played was so tough on defense and just like smart decision-making offensively. And you can rattle off the names that were part of those teams, right? Like the Douye Dukins, the Nigel Hayeses, Bronson Koenig, and then obviously the four guys that will be here tonight, Gosser and Showalter, right? Like another guy who's out there. But the guys that are here tonight, Gosser, Kaminsky, Decker, Brust. It was the pinnacle of Wisconsin basketball of anybody that was able to watch it. I mean, it was an unbelievable team, and it is going to be such a neat celebration here at the Orpheum Theater tonight.
It's a microcosm of what college sports used to be, because when you listen to Ben, it reminds me of my time at Wisconsin. It reminds me of guys that liked each other, that they were playing at Wisconsin for the love of Wisconsin and for the love of each other. College sports have changed. We all know that. NIL and transfer portal, it's made players more mercenaries than real fixture-level teammates. But when I hear Ben talk about this, it reminds me of those Rose Bowl teams that I were a part of, that these guys not only liked one another, they were friends on and off the court or on and off the field, but they also they just lived college lives. I mean, I remember getting a scholarship check, and obviously being on scholarship, a huge blessing. But compared to what people make now,
I'll tell you what, it is a huge blessing. I got a few student loans I'm paying for.
I mean, that is true. I think about we would get a check for $1,000 a month, right? That was supposed to last our rent, our food, all the kind of things. So plenty for a college student, but you just felt on the court. You did your thing. You were focused. You were almost like a pro level type of capability. But off the court, you're having fun. You're being an idiot. You're being a college student. These guys played for Wisconsin. They loved Wisconsin. They loved one another. It showed on the court. And I felt like that over my Wisconsin Badger teams. And it's one of those things that I feel like, me personally, feels a little bit of a disconnect to at least college football. I think Greg Gard, being a lifelong Wisconsin guy, feels a little bit of a connection there. But the Wisconsin football team, there's a little bit of a disconnect because, not to Luke Fickell's own fault, But this is just the way college football is now.
Yep.
It's transactional. It's moving. You can't develop guys. You can't get to know guys. It feels like more mercenaries than it does like committed teammates. So as I'm watching tonight, I'm going to not only remember this team, but remember a different time in college sports, a time when it was more organic, a little bit more natural, and I'll just be honest, more fun.
Yeah, I tend to agree with all of those points, and I know they'll talk about it tonight. A little sneak peek into something or a discussion you'll hear tonight. But if it was 2025 and these same guys were on the team, those same guys wouldn't be on the team, because that's just, to your point, not the era of college athletics. Teams don't stay together for 4 years like all those teams did. And that was their superpower, right? Like, they took down the undefeated Kentucky team, but a lot of those guys were one and dones. That was the era of when Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky was kind of at Kansas as well, would have these unbelievable high school prospects that come in, play 1 year, and then they go right to the NBA. Whereas Wisconsin, they were homegrown talent that built up throughout the years, and that's just non-existent in college athletics anymore. And I'm not taking a shot at the guy, but I think just a great example of this is a freshman that everybody was excited about, a sophomore that didn't get as much playing time as he did as a freshman, and then he left, was Connor Sejan.
Oh, yeah.
Right, a Wisconsin basketball player that I think a lot of this fan base wrapped their arms around, but it's a new era. He wasn't getting the playing time he expected nor wanted, so he said, okay, I'm going to go to Nebraska and be a starter and play for a different team. So that's just how that's going to go. Jason Wilde will join us at some point. It sounds like probably in the 4 o'clock hour to talk all things green and gold. He's got a little car snafu he's doing.
Oh, no.
So he will join us a bit later in the program to talk about that PFF list. So we will stick with the theme of college sports coming up next, Bradley, because I realize that something really big is happening, like really, really, really big in college athletics. And we haven't talked about it yet. Mm-hmm. And it has to do with your alma mater. It has to do with the program that you were a part of, the Wisconsin football team, in the first of its kind lawsuit against the University of Miami over the dispute of Xavier Lucas, the defensive back, who had a really nice freshman season last year with the Badgers. Well, he's now a Hurricane and not fully legally. So we will dive into the first-of-its-kind lawsuit between Wisconsin and Miami, get Brad Nortman's raw, unfiltered opinion on everything going on there with his alma mater, his former team, the Wisconsin Badgers. That is coming up next. It's Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe with you on Kyle Brust and Nortman, live from the Orpheum Theater. Ahead of Made 'em Believe. Tickets still available, uwhoops2015.com. College football talk coming up next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
That is completely unacceptable. It is unacceptable for a team to
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Is acceptable? Unacceptable?
Unacceptable.
Unaccessible. Wait,
what?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Earlier accident on 43 southbound near Bender Road has been cleared, but the delays are still there. Coming in from before Brown Deer Road all the way down past Silver Spring. You're back on the brakes from Capitol Drive down to Locust and then again through the Marquette. Northbound's backed up from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe, and then from just north of Capitol Drive all the way up past Silver Spring. Traffic is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Extend your outdoor space with a retractable awning or screen like I did with my friends at Comfort Awnings. Custom designed to fit your home. Get your free estimate at comfortawnings.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Scattered showers and storms, a low of 69. Tomorrow, slight chance for morning shower. Afternoon sunshine after that, a high of 80. Weather's brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. Cheese Capital Cup is coming June 27th through the 29th. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. The Cheese Capital Cup is next on June 27th through the 29th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point.
with Amber Wilson.
Your philosophy was very clearly that you thought KD and Kyrie, you thought you had something going that direction, and then all of a sudden you win the lottery. And so now you have Cooper Flagg coming in. Your core is going to be a 33-year-old and a 32-year-old, and those players both seem more 35 than they do 32 and 33.
Right.
And typically, when you have players in that situation, you need to win in the next 2 years is your championship window. Cooper Flagg is an 18-year-old and isn't going to be ready. Even if he turns out to be what everybody thinks he's going to be, he's not going to be ready to win a championship in the next 2 years. So I don't know how you combine those philosophies. And I don't think you can bring in Cooper Flagg and trade him away if you're Dallas. I don't think you can trade away AD if you're Dallas. I don't think you can trade anybody if you're Dallas. Heck, you've got to sit on your hands if you're Dallas.
Something amazing is happening in meteorology. Climate researchers are weathering a data storm. That's because CDW transformed their devices and infrastructure to pre-configured Lenovo ThinkPads and powerful edge-to-cloud solutions, delivering faster insights to run more accurate forecast models. So it's almost like they're controlling the weather themselves. Lenovo and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Lenovo Client.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
My name is Rob, and I was seriously injured. When I think of Gruber Law Offices, I think of an honest, hard-working team who will fight to represent you. Couldn't be happier with the call that I made that day.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle Brust and Nortman continues live from the Orpheum Theater in downtown Madison ahead of Made 'em Believe. Tickets still available. Not very many, but there are still a few at uwhoops2015.com. Your way into Made 'em Believe. Josh Gosser, Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, Bo Ryan, Ben Brust, and special guests included. All going to be here live at the Orpheum Theater tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock. That's Brad Nortman, the former NFL and Wisconsin punter. I'm Alex Strofe, hanging out with you. And I mentioned former Wisconsin punter for a reason, because, you know, this NIL thing we've been doing now for 4 years, right? I think it was July 1st, so almost 4 years to the date of 2021. When the NCAA essentially said, hey, go for it, right? Name, image, likeness. Players are able to capitalize on it, make money. And you know, it's something that probably should have been in place a long time ago. Schools are able to legally pay players, kind of, right? Collectives and the NIL departments cut out contracts. But that took some time to evolve and get to what it is now. And I'll get to that in just a moment. But when we started NIL, Wisconsin actually kind of led the way, right? Like Livy Dunn was the first NIL athlete, and of course she's of course the LSU gymnast, but of course known as Paul Skeen's girlfriend, who both attended LSU at the time. Livy Dunn was like the first NIL athlete, right? She had a ton of Instagram followers, so brands started, you know, paying her to essentially do paid posts, paid advertisements on social media. And then it evolved, right? Later that summer, it was announced that Graham Mertz, at the time the Wisconsin quarterback, would be the first collegiate athlete to launch his own clothing line, right? So it was shirts that said, you know, Graham Mertz, and it was pictures of his face or whatever, right? I think it was GrahamMertzStore.com or something like that. I don't know how much of a success that was, but he was the first.
Seems crazy.
Doesn't it?
A long
time ago, back in 2021. And then obviously, you know, there continues to you know, different things, right? And then you start seeing that NIL collectives are recruiting kids with money. We talked about earlier, it's AJ, I screw up his last name all the time too, but the biggest recruit in basketball for next year is going to BYU for something, I think it's like $10 million or something insane like that. So it has evolved and evolved and evolved. The one issue is there's been no rules put in place. So Wisconsin last year prior to last season, tried something new. They said, hey, Xavier Lucas, you are this incredible defensive back. And he ended up, finding his way onto the field, getting extensive playing time for the Wisconsin defense last season. It was one of the brightest spots of an otherwise pretty dim year for the Wisconsin football program, snapping their one of the longest bowl eligibility streaks in the country. This offseason, Xavier Lucas says, I think I might want to go to Miami. And that's because he had an illegal meeting, or at least what Wisconsin is allegedly calling an illegal meeting with the University of Miami and their coaches. Him and his parents had meetings with Miami coaches in Florida. Then Xavier Lucas decides, hey, I'm going to go to Miami. But he never entered the transfer portal because Wisconsin didn't let him. They didn't approve it because he had signed what our understanding is a 2-year contract with the Wisconsin Badgers, and he had only played 1 year. And he meets with Miami, decides he wants to go to Miami, and he can never enter the transfer portal. So what does Xavier Lucas do? He finds a loophole. He says, well, academically then, I'm leaving the University of Wisconsin, and academically, I am enrolling at Miami. And Miami's football program just so happened to know this kid was a pretty savvy football player, and they offered him a scholarship. So they kind of did the workaround of avoiding the transfer portal and avoiding contractual obligations, and are now in the middle of a lawsuit, as the University of Wisconsin earlier this week or late last week goes ahead and files a lawsuit against the University of Miami saying they were legally tampered with Xavier Lucas, which to me, the evidence says, yeah, they did. Mm-hmm. But also, why does a contract with the varsity collective matter in the court of law? That's the hard part. So we ultimately we will get a resolution and we will get a ruling from the court of law on this one way or another, and it will be the first time really in NCAA history and in NIL history we will have some sort of ruling on what the rule book looks like. So Brad Nortman is an alumni of the program, as a former college athlete and somebody who's still very, very passionate about college football and college athletics. This is really unique and strange. What is your read on this situation between Wisconsin and the University of Miami?
Well, I hate the fact that Wisconsin is in the crosshairs of this because it looks like Wisconsin is trying to prohibit a student athlete, if you want to even call them that anymore, an athlete, from doing what they want to do. If you don't want to play in the university, you want to enter the transfer portal, you should just go to the transfer portal. I personally wouldn't want someone on my team that doesn't want to be there, right? The old Mike Tomlin, we want volunteers, not hostages. Mm-hmm. So I hate that for Wisconsin. However, and that is not like Wisconsin needs any more bad press, right? We want to start pushing this thing in the right direction. However, this is not unlike as like the American frontier, Strofe. This is like when people are moving west. Your face is so funny. I'm just okay. This is not unlike when you start setting up settlements as people were heading west, right? What do they call it? They call it the wild, wild west. And they do that for a reason. Because if a cow wandered off your property and somebody said, okay, that's my cow, and I go and I shoot you in the kneecap because I want my cow back, at some point you got to say, whoa, 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 whoa. We need some rules. We need some governances. We need a sheriff. We need a law system. We can't live in this wild west anymore. So the idea, so to land that plane with the University of Wisconsin.
Yeah, good luck.
They are in the right to say that we need to be the first one to take this to a judicial setting because we need rules. It's been long enough that, the Wild West is occurring without any sort of rules and people are getting in trouble and things are happening that shouldn't happen. That realistic, rational people would say, we need to guard against this. Like if my cattle goes off my property, Strofe, you take it and I shoot you in the kneecap for retaliation. Any rational brain would say, we need some rules in place to prevent this from happening. So Wisconsin is right in having to set a precedent, because then the Big Ten supporting them, to say, you know what, this is what happened. We're not going after Xavier Lucas, but we're going after Miami because a school shouldn't be allowed to do this. A school shouldn't be allowed to talk to our athlete and shouldn't be allowed to basically negotiate with them outside of that. Because if they are, then anybody is a free agent at any time. And if I'm playing for the Wisconsin Badgers, then Ohio State and Michigan and Minnesota and Alabama, they could all just say, oh, you're making $100,000 at Wisconsin, we'll make it $300. Just come on over here. It doesn't matter when or who. We can do it at any time, and that means nobody is safe. And then all of a sudden, the competitive balance that is college football, any sort of allegiance of any player on any given team, even if just for one season, is always called into question. So I hate the fact that Wisconsin is at the forefront of this because they don't need any more bad publicity. We want these things to be colored correctly, and they are not completely without fault, right? They should have just let him go to the transfer portal.
Yep.
And from what I read, they didn't pay him anything. Like, they signed the contract, and within a couple of weeks is when he did this. So it was a futures contract of sorts, and it was going to be paid out over time. I could be wrong, but from what I read, he was not paid anything. So it's not like that, if he was, I would say you have to pay that back. But there was no money exchanged hands. It was just an agreement, a signed contract. So, but if it were like anyone listening, like you and me, Strofe, we could say, well, I'm an employee of XYZ, but I can go out looking for a better job. So to me, I hate the fact that Wisconsin's at the forefront of it, but it's something that's got to get ironed out. And speaking of being ironed out, look at this gentleman right next to me. We have got none other than Ben Brust himself.
Wow.
Ben, you want the headphones to say a thing or two?
The show.
Okay.
He is looking at me like he doesn't want me on the air because he wants to keep talking.
I wasn't talking. I was listening to Brad Nortman spiel on kneecaps being shot because the cattle left, and it's the Wild West.
I compared the Wisconsin-Miami lawsuit to the lack of rules going on in the Wild West. If my cattle wandered off my property and Strofe took it, and I shot him in the kneecap, you would say, you know what? Maybe some rules should be in place. And that's just what Wisconsin's trying to do. Put some rules in place. But we're talking about Wisconsin, and nothing feels more Wisconsin than the epicenter of the Wisconsin universe tonight. And that's Made Him Believe.
It's one of the more unique analogies I've ever heard him come up with.
No,
we're not shooting the cattle. The cattle left. So the cattle left the yard, wandered off the property that you own. Over to Miami.
Yeah.
And let's say I'm Miami and Brad's Wisconsin.
But Miami took some grass, some healthy-looking grass, and said, come here, cattle. Come here, cattle.
And then I stole the cattle, if I'm Miami in this context, and Brad shot me in the kneecap. That's the Wild West.
And at some point, rational people, rational citizens of the town would say, whoa, we need some rules. We need some laws in place. We need a sheriff. We need a jury.
They're working on the amount of money that each university can have to give to their players and distribute the football and basketball. And we don't need any people shooting.
That'd be preferred.
And this is one of the critical components where, you know what? You shouldn't be able to talk to other players, other teams' players, and elicit them to come to your program. So it is one of the many important issues that need to get ironed out in the NIL era, and it just so happens that Wisconsin's at the forefront of it. Should have let him transfer, but Wisconsin's at the forefront of it, and it's a rule that needs to get figured out.
Part-time Will, how about now?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, good stuff. Now we got Ben Brust all hooked up and connected. This Comrex is a little weird. So Ben Brust joins us now. Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe hanging out with you on KBN. We're going to spend a few minutes with Benny to talk about Made Him Believe. Are you cool hanging out around if we take a break and we talk Made Him Believe coming up next?
At 4 o'clock, we have some more stuff to do.
Well, that's fine. Can you hang until 4?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a break here on KBN. We're going to come back. We're going to get Ben a chair. We're going to get him all proper and set up.
No, I don't need any of that.
You don't need to kneel.
What a pro.
Because Brad might shoot you in the kneecap. You don't want to
You're right.
That knee is right there.
All right, Ben Brust joins us to talk Made Him Believe tonight at the Orpheum Theater. Remember, there are still a few tickets remaining. And when I say a few, I literally mean a few. UWHoops2015.com. Get in here. It's going to be a sold-out crowd celebrating an unbelievable team. And Will is just playing footage of my first pitch from last night. Maybe we'll
as
talk
he
about
should.
That, coming up. Coming up next. Ben Brust joins his own show next. It's KBN on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Brad was like, it's the 4-1-4 hour at 4.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like the kid who, got picked on the sports team. I was like, oh, you want me? No way.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on July 1st.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the New York Mets.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in July 1st at 6:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save at Discount Liquor.
It's the world's largest music festival, and you'll be there compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. There is no other party like Summerfest. So get the fun started by stopping in to Discount Liquor. When you buy any one 12-pack of Blue Moon or Blue Moon Light, or any one 12-pack of Arnold Palmer Spiked Hard Tea, you'll receive a free Summerfest ticket. Visit us at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and in Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
See us for your free Summerfest ticket and check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Set sail this June for a boundless bounty at Potawatomi. Come aboard, and you might win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Boundless bounty this June at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle Bruston Nortman continues live from the Orpheum Theater.
Wait a second, I should bring this in.
Let's start over.
It's a great day to be alive on this Thursday. Kyle Brust Norton live from the Orpheum in Madison. I'm Ben Brust alongside Brad Norman and the worst athlete on planet Earth, Alex Strofe.
All right. Yeah, wow. No, let me run this joint because it's going to be really hard to interview you if you're running the show.
I just had to get it my shot.
Flashback to 2014. We're going to go a year earlier, 11 years ago. 2014, the Wisconsin Badgers make it to the Final Four. Ben Brust recently downloaded Instagram, and boy, oh boy, were his comments obnoxious, especially when he looks like this, because you look very handsome right now.
Oh, wow.
What are you trying to say?
Hey! He insults your athletic ability, and you compliment him. You guys do have a dysfunctional relationship.
Isn't it crazy? we got drinks yesterday before the Lakeshore Chinooks game. We hung out, and I brought him a little too close. Now I got to start pushing him farther away, especially after seeing how he threw that pitch.
It was a great pitch by me. But I don't want to talk about that, Benny. I want to talk about what's coming up here tonight at the Orpheum Theater, as it has been months and months of planning for this and talking about it and thinking about how this program is going to go tonight, as you will be joined by your former teammates Josh Gosser, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker, and, of course, the old ball coach, who I'm going to ask him how he knows you at your wedding.
The old coach.
The old coach. Bo Ryan will all be here at the Orpheum Theater. Again, a few tickets left, uwhoops2015.com. Obviously, you've been planning this for a while. What excites you most about the fact that we finally made it here today?
That we're here today. I mean, it's been such a journey. Looking at the stage right now, the stage looks absolutely beautiful. You have the tables, you have the VIP, you have general admission. Everyone that came together to be a part of this has excelled their role. We have videos that are going to enhance the entire show. We have storytellers and entertainers that are going to enhance the show. The personalities. Josh Gosser texting me things last night on the golf course, talking about it today, this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I almost fell, but I caught myself. Athlete. I just know that when we're up on this stage and once we get it started, it's just going to flow naturally, and I have so much planned. I'm not going to get to everything, and I think that is going to be a good thing for everyone in the audience, because that means it's just flowing like it's going.
Yeah, part of this night is getting to know that iconic
flowing
team.
Like it's going.
Like it's going. Two-wordsmith.
Part of this is getting
Frank
to know.
Kaminsky's stream on the golf course was a little worrisome.
Oh,
boy. Finding a tree.
I thought wait, his pee stream?
Yeah.
Wow.
How many times did he pee?
No, it just it wasn't a solid stream. I was a little worried about him.
Putting his business out there like that?
I'm just messing.
No, he's not.
Getting to know the guys on stage, intimately like that, is part of the reason why people are coming out tonight and why people are excited. And we don't know these guys like you do, but they're all icons and they're all entertaining. Who are you most excited to hear from? Because I feel like there's some hidden gems, maybe some personalities.
Don't hedge. I want an answer.
Yeah, I think Josh is going to somehow be a star without saying as much. He is going to talk about something that is going to get Frank to react to something. Josh has the uncanny ability to make Frank open up and laugh by just saying one or two words, and then Frank will just go on.
Yeah.
So he's almost like my X factor. If Josh clams up, the show will still be good. But if Josh doesn't clam up, then it's going to be great.
I love it. So you guys are still teamwork after all these years.
How was golf this morning?
It was a lot of fun.
It was all five of you? Bo was there too or no?
No, just me, Josh, and Frank in Channel 3000 of Madison followed us around for 3 holes. Frank was playing so bad. He's so mean. He was blaming the two camera people. He goes, Ben, it's because you got these guys following me around, right to their faces. He's just the best.
Oh, my God.
Blaming the people. And then he also just sucked the rest of the day, and then finally goes, yeah, it wasn't those guys. I'm just having a bad day.
Just having a bad day.
Yeah, but he took it out on these really nice gentlemen that are following us around for a feature for their nightly newscast to show what we got going on.
So Benny pointed out. So we have some VIP tables towards the front of the stage here at the Orpheum Theater. You said they look really nice, right?
They do.
Want to know who put all the tablecloths on?
You.
You got it, buddy.
Good job.
I did a good job, right? They look good.
Good job to you.
Putting tablecloths on round
Bro,
tables.
I'll just tell you what. I'll just tell you what. I might not be able to throw a first pitch very well, but boy, am I selfless.
Yes.
Am I a good teammate to Ben Brush, just like Gosser was?
Not even close.
Oh, yes, it's close.
He was way more selfless than you.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. You want to know the reason we were at the Lakeshore Chinooks game last night?
Because you wanted to
I wanted to
yourself.
throw the first pitch. Yeah, I wanted the spotlight on Alex Stroh.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got about 90 seconds left in the ESPN Wisconsin portion of the program. Any final thoughts? It can be about Made in Belief. It can be about my first pitch. It can be about but it can be about both. It can be about neither. Whatever you want, Benny. The floor is yours as we wrap up the ESPN Wisconsin portion.
Maybe a little bit of everything. This is going to be an awesome event. Get your tickets. Come on down. Alex Stroh, I appreciate the fact that you are now plotting your next viral moment. He's got it figured out, guys. Mm-hmm. He's so bad athletically. And I think he knows he can't do these things, but he's convincing all of us on the radio that he can do these things, that I have people texting me Is it real? Is it fake? He's got everyone in a tizzy because they don't understand how someone could be that unathletic.
Unathletic and that confident.
Wait, people
It's a
are
strange
actually texting you
combination.
that?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
I know. I shouldn't have said that out loud. I just created even more of a
No,
monster.
but the thing is, people have been texting the show today and saying, "Strofe, that's a bit, right?" Like,
It's not.
It's not a bit.
It's not. It's not. He's.
I got to be honest.
He's
though,
special.
I think when I was on that mound last night at Capco Park and I saw you back there, I think that's what threw me off.
See, that's baloney.
You were
That's
smirking at me.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I was locked. I was locked in.
Right.
I was locked in. I did not smile. I was giving you the signs. I gave you 2. You shook it off. I gave you 1 to the outside. You shook it off. And I just went 1 straight. And you went 1 up over the head to my right.
That's right. Benny, thank you for stopping by, buddy.
Have a great
Good
night.
luck tonight. Looking forward to Made 'em Believe here at the Orpheum Theater. You've got Jim, Matt, and Molly coming up next on ESPN Madison. You've got the Damn Sports Show with Corey and Wally coming up next on ESPN Beaver Dam. Brad and I continue with you for the next hour on ESPN Milwaukee. It's Kyle Bruston Ortman live from Orpheum Theater.
Southbound on 43, we do have delays from south of Brown Deer Road, pretty much all the way down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Northbound's backed up from just before Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. Southbound 41, heavy ride from Good Hope Road down to Capitol. Northbound's backed up from Watertown Plank Road all the way up almost to Hampton.